Hey, so I'm a little curious to this book, so I'm gonna start reading until my phone says I have too much memory taken up already. So I'm curious to what they do with the money. It's kind of you know, my excitement to finish the book already. I think I have two more acts or two scenes left, and not acts. Acts are usually the bigger portion. The scenes are what make up the act. So I think I might have two scenes left. And maybe I'm sure you're gonna, if you made it this far, you kind of know what's going on already. I guess just to refresh my memory, to get kind of my throat ready to speak and my mind working again. So the mother, she actually put down a down payment, I think of like $3,500 out of the $10,000 her husband left her when he passed away. So there was $6,500 left. She actually gave it to her son. I think she told him to put like $3,000 away for like college or something. So he was gonna use $3,000 to invest. He's still has the idea to invest his money, and he believes in that business investment is gonna make him a profit. So, but they already have a house. So, I think the mom and the sister, and I think even the son, I think they all work. So they'll be able to pay for that house. So with that extra, you might as well put it to work, try to make some more, So I'm kind of curious how it's gonna pan out. I hope it's an ending where it just ends like, we started the business, was rough at first and then made a profit after. So we'll see. But so I think there's a dude right there. So Lorraine. All right, scene 3. Time, Saturday, moving day, 1 week later. Before the curtain rises, Ruth's voice, a strident, dramatic church alto, cuts through the silence. So I think she screams or something. It is, in the darkness, a triumphant surge, a penetrating statement of expectation. Oh Lord, I don't feel no ways tired, children. Oh glory, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, curtain rises, voice, a strident, dramatic church alto. So Ruth is pretty happy to move, So as the curtain rises, we see that Ruth is alone in the living room. Let me see, Ruth. Okay, finishing up the family packing. It is moving day. She is nailing crates and tying cartons. Benita enters, carrying a guitar case, and watches her exuberant sister-in-law. So Ruth. Hey, Benita, putting away the case. Hi, Ruth, pointing at a package. Honey, look in that package there and see what I found on the sale this morning at the South Center. So I guess she bought something. Ruth gets up and moves to the package and draws out some curtain. Look at here. Hand-turned hems. I guess clothes or something. Benita, how do you know the window size out there? Ruth, who hadn't thought of that. Oh, well, they bound to fit something in the whole house. Anyhow, it was too good a bargain to pass up. Ruth slaps her head, suddenly remembering something. Oh, Benny, I meant to put a special note on that carton over there. That's your mama's good china, and she wants him to be very careful with it. Benita, I'll do it. Benita, find a piece of paper and starts to draw large letters on it. Okay, so she's putting something. Ruth, you know what I'm going to do soon as I get in the new house? Benita, what? Ruth, honey, I'm going to run me a tub of water up to here, with her fingers practically up to her nostrils, and I'm going to get in it. I'm going to sit and sit and sit in that hot water, and the first person who knocks to tell me to hurry up and come out. Benita, get shot at sunrise? Ruth, laughing happily. You said it, sister, noticing how large Benita is absent-mindedly making the note. Honey, they ain't going to read that from no plane. Benita, laughing herself. I guess I always think things have more emphasis if they are big somehow. Ruth, looking up at her and smiling. You and your brother seem to have that as a philosophy of life. Lord, that man done changed so around here, You know what we did last night, me and Walter Lee? Benita, what? My dirty mind wants to guess, but I'm just being funny. Ruth, smiling to herself. We went to the movies, looking at Benita to see if she understands. We went to the movies. You know the last time me and Walter went to the movies together? Benita, no. Ruth, me neither. That's how long it's been. Smiling again. But we went last night. The picture wasn't much good, but that didn't seem to matter. We went and we held hands. Benita, Oh Lord. Ruth, we held hands and you know what? Benita, what? Ruth, when we come out of the show, it was late and dark and all the stores and things was closed up. It was kind of chilly and there wasn't many people on the street. And we were holding hands, me and Walter. Benita, you're killing me. Walter enters with a large package. His happiness is deep in him. He cannot keep still with his newfound exuberance. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, so Walter's excited. He is singing and wiggling and snapping his fingers. He puts his package in a corner and puts a phonograph record, which he has brought in with him, on the record player. As the music, soulful and sensuous, comes up, he dances over to Ruth and tries to get her to dance with him. She gives in at last to his raunchiness and in a fit of giggling allows herself to be drawn into his mood. They dip and she melts into his arms in a classic body melding slow drag. It's a type of dance. Yeah, you know, like there's like, he's like just dragging her, like dancing with her slowly. Benita, regarding them a long time as they dance, then drawing in her breath for a deeply exaggerated comment which she does not particularly mean. Talk about old-fashioned, she says Negroes, but I don't want to disrespect anybody. And there's somebody around me, I don't know if they get disrespected by me just saying the word. I won't ever say the N-word when I read, but sometimes they say Negroes. I don't mean no harm by it. Walter, stopping momentarily. What kind of Negroes? He says this in fun. He is not angry with her today, nor with anyone. He starts to dance with his wife again. Benita, old-fashioned. Walter, as he dances with Ruth. You know when these new have their convention? Pointing at his sister. That is going to be the chairman. Okay, so what is he saying? Okay, Walter, as he dances with Ruth. You know when these new have their convention? Pointing at his sister. That is going to be the chairman of the Committee on Unending Agitation. Okay, he's just making a really smart remark. He goes on dancing, then stops. Race, race, race. Girl, I do believe you are the first person in the history of the entire human race to successfully brainwash yourself. Benita breaks up and he goes on dancing. He stops again, enjoying his tease. Damn. Even the NAACP takes a holiday sometimes. So this is Walter saying that. Benita and Ruth laugh. He dances with Ruth some more and starts to laugh. He stops and pantomimes someone over an operating table. I can just see that chick someday looking down at some poor cat on an operating table, and before she starts to slice him, she says, pulling up his sleeves back maliciously, by the way, what are your views on civil rights down there? He laughs at her again and starts to dance happily. The bell sounds. He's saying, like, relax. Like, you know when you're young, you want to fight for something? Like, okay, Benita, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Okay, that's just funny. But Benita goes to the door and opens it as Walter and Ruth go on with the clowning. Benita is somewhat surprised to see a quiet-looking middle-aged white man in a business suit holding his hat and a briefcase in his hand and consulting a small piece of paper. So the man, how do you do, miss? I'm looking for a Mrs. He looks at the slip of paper. Mrs. Lena Younger? He stops short, struck dumb at the sight of the oblivious Walter and Ruth. Benita, smoothing her hair with slight embarrassment. Oh yes, that's my mother, excuse me. She closes the door and turns to quiet the other two. Ruth, brother, enunciating precisely but soundlessly. There's a white man at the door. They stop dancing. Ruth cuts off the phonograph. Benita opens the door. The man casts a curious, quick glance at all of them. Come in, please. So the man coming in. Thank you. Let me see how long this is real quick. Hoping to finish it. Hoping to finish it in peace. Alright, so we got like 15 pages, so. Oh my goodness, man. Man, coming in, thank you. Benita, my mother isn't here just now. Is it business? Man, yes, well, of a sort. Walter, freely the man of the house. Have a seat. I'm Mrs. Younger's son. I look after most of her business matters. Ruth and Benita exchanged amused glances. Man, regarding Walter and sitting. Well, my name is Carl Lindner. Ooh, okay. Walter, stretching out his hand. Walter Younger, this is my wife, Ruth, nods politely, and my sister. Lindner. They don't call him man anymore. His name's Lindner. How do you do, Walter? Amiably, as he sits himself easily on a chair, leaning forward on his knees with interest and looking expectantly into the newcomer's face. What can we do for you, Mr. Lindner? Lindner, some minor shuffling of the hat and briefcase on his knees. Well, I am a representative of the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. Sounds like the homeowners association. Oh, remember, they were having trouble because the white people were treating them kind of like shit, you know, so I feel like he's coming to, like, I don't know, get to know them or kind of intimidate them. Okay, Walter pointing, why don't you sit your things on the floor? So I guess he's nervous. Lindner, oh yes, thank you. He slides the briefcase and hat under the chair. And as I was saying, I am from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association, and we have had it brought to our attention at the last meeting that you people, or at least your mother, has bought a piece of residential property at, so he digs for the slip of the paper again, at 406 Clybourne Street. Walter, that's right. Care for something to drink, Ruth? Get Mr. Lindner a beer. Lindner, upset for some reason. Oh, no, really. I mean, thank you very much, but no thank you. Ruth, innocently. Some coffee? Lindner, thank you. Nothing at all. Benita is watching the man carefully. Lindner, well, I don't know how much you folks know about our organization. He is a gentleman, thoughtful, and somewhat labored in his manner. It is one of these community organizations set up to look after, oh, you know, things like block upkeep and special projects, and we also have what we call our New Neighbors Orientation Committee. Benita, dryly, yes, and what do they do? Lindner, turning a little to her and then returning the main force to Walter. It's kind of like, why don't you just leave the black people alone, dog? Well, if that's what you might call a sort of welcoming committee, I guess. I mean, I'm the chairman of the committee, go around and see the new people who move into the neighborhood and sort of give them the lowdown on the way we do things out in Clybourne Park. Benita, with appreciation of the two meanings which escape Ruth and Walter. Lindner. We also have the category of what the association calls, he looks elsewhere, special community problems. Benita, yes, and what are some of those? Walter, girl, let the man talk. Kind of like what I'm dealing with right now, except no one's kind of complained to me for always being homeless around here. I'm waiting for this guy with a suit and tie to come fucking tell me, hey bro, gotta go. Lindner, with understated relief, thank you. I would sort of like to explain this thing in my own way. I mean, I want to explain to you in a certain way. Walter, go ahead. Lindner, yes, well, I'm going to try to get right to the point. I'm sure we all appreciate that in the long run. Benita, yes. Walter, be still now. Lindner, well. Ruth, still innocently. Would you like another chair? You don't look comfortable. Lindner, more frustrated than annoyed. No, thank you very much. Please, well, to get right to the point, a great breath, and he is off at last. So he's about to say what he's going to. I am sure you people must be aware of some of the incidents which have happened in various parts of the city when colored people have moved into certain areas. Benita exhales heavily and starts tossing a piece of fruit up and down in the air. They should have just kept renting that spot, you know? You're trying to do better for yourself? Well, because we have what I think is going to be a unique type of organization in American community life. Not only do we deplore that kind of thing, but we are trying to do something about it. Also, they're actually going to help them. Benita stops tossing and turns with a new and quizzical interest to the man. We feel gaining confidence in his mission because of the interest in the faces of the people he is talking to. My towel is going back and forth, so that it's blocking the sun, not blocking the sun. We feel that most of the trouble in this world, when you come right down to it, he hits his knee for emphasis. Most of the trouble exists because people just don't sit down and talk to each other. Ruth, nodding as she might in church, pleased with the remark. You can say that again, mister. Lindner, more encouraged by such affirmation, that we don't try hard enough in this world to understand the other fellow's problem, the other guy's point of view. Ruth, now that's right. Benita and Walter merely watch and listen with genuine interest. He could be fooling them, though. Lindner, yes, that's the way we feel out in Clybourne Park, and that's why I was elected to come here this afternoon and talk to you people, friendly like, you know, the way people should talk to each other and see if we couldn't find some way to work this thing out. As I said, the whole business is a matter of caring about the other fellow. Anybody can see that you are a nice family of folks, hard-working and honest, I'm sure. Benita frowned slightly, quizzically, her head tilted regarding him. Today, everybody knows what it means to be on the outside of something. And of course, there was always somebody who was out to take advantage of people who don't always understand. Walter, what do you mean? Lindner, well, you see, our community is made up of people who've worked hard as the dickens for years to build that little community. They're not rich and fancy people, just hardworking, honest people who don't really have much but those little homes and a dream of the kind of community they want to raise their children in. Now, I don't say we are perfect, and there was a lot wrong in some of the things they want, but you've got to admit that a man, right or wrong, has a right to want to have the neighborhood he lives in a certain kind of way. And at the moment, the overwhelming majority of our people out there feel that people get along better, take more of a common interest in the life of the community. When they share a common background, I want you to believe me when I tell you that race prejudice simply doesn't enter into it. It is a matter of the people of Clybourne Park believing, rightly or wrongly as I say, that for the happiness of all concerned, that our black families are happier when they live in their own communities. Benita, with a grand and bitter gesture, this, friends, is the welcoming committee. Walter, dumbfounded, looking at Lindner, is this what you came marching all the way over here to tell us? Lindner, well, now we've been having a fine conversation. I hope you'll hear me all the way through. Walter, tightly, go ahead, man. Lindner, you see, in the face of all things I have said, we are prepared to make your family a very generous offer. Benita, 30 pieces and not a coin less. Walter, yeah? What is 30 pieces, 30,000? Lindner, putting on his glasses and drawing a form out of the briefcase. Our association is prepared through the collective effort of our people to buy the house from you at a financial gain to your family. Ruth, Lord have mercy, ain't this the living gall? Walter, all right, you through? Lindner, well, I want to give you the exact terms of the financial arrangement. At that point, you just leave. You just don't come back. You can't move in there no more. They don't want you in there that bad. They're trying to offer you money. Walter, we don't want to hear no exact terms or no arrangements. I want to know if you got any more to tell us about getting together. Lindner, taking off his glasses. Well, I don't suppose that you feel... Walter, never mind how I feel. You got any more to say about how people ought to sit down and talk to each other? Get out of my house, man. He turns his back and walks to the door. Lindner, looking around at the hostile faces and reaching and assembling his hat and briefcase. Well, I don't understand why you people are reacting this way. What do you think you're going to gain by moving into a neighborhood where you just aren't wanted, where some elements, well, people can get awful worked up when they feel that their whole way of life and everything they ever worked for is threatened? Walter, get out. Lindner, at the door holding a small card. Well, I'm sorry it went like this. Walter, get out. Lindner, almost sadly regarding Walter. You just can't force people to change their hearts, son. He turns and puts his card on the table and exits. Walter pushes the door to with stinging hatred and stands looking at it. Ruth just sits and Benita just stands. They say nothing. Mama and Travis enter. Mama, well, this is all packing got done since I left out of here this morning. So she's saying, what's up with everybody? I testify before God that my children got all the energy of the dead. What time the movie men do? Benita, 4 o'clock. You had to call her, Mama. She is smiling teasingly. Oh, like Benita's being sarcastic. Mama, sure enough, who? I got 10 more pages, man. Benita, her arms folded saucily. The welcoming committee. Walter and Ruth giggle. Mama, innocently. Who? Benita, the welcoming committee. They said they're sure going to be glad to see you when you get there. Walter, devilishly. Yeah, they said they can't hardly wait to see your face. He laughs. Ha ha. So they kind of know, like, Mom, it's fucked up already. They can't go there. Mama, sensing their facetiousness. Mama, sensing their facetiousness. What's the matter with you all? Walter, ain't nothing the matter with us. We're just telling you about the gentleman who came to see you this afternoon from the Clybourne Park Improvement Association. I think the world, I don't know if this is like fucking preordained by some super smart scientists that just don't want me in their fucking town. Or, because I got this book from the fucking trash can. You don't have to go to the library. This is my book. But I also feel like this is my story. Like, I'm just parked here in this neighborhood that probably doesn't want some fucking homeless fucking freak around. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how they view me or whatever. They probably just don't want me around. And even then, they probably label me a freak or whatever, you know? They probably won't even they probably even know about me, but just still don't give a fuck about me, you know? So, I just feel, this is crazy. I don't know if God is real or the life will tell you everything. Like, one day they're going to get tired of your ass for being homeless around this motherfucker. I don't know. I don't know. Guess you can't even be alone out free forever. Or whatever. But, So he laughs, right? Mama, sensing their facetious. What's the matter with you all, Walter? Ain't nothing the matter with us. We just telling you about the gentleman who came to see you this afternoon from Clybourne Park Improvement Association. Mama, what do you want? Ruth, in the same mood as Benita and Walter, to welcome you, honey. Walter, he said they can't hardly wait. He said the one thing they don't have, that they just dying to have out there is a fine family of fine colored people. To Ruth and Benita, ain't that right? Ruth, mockingly, yeah, he left his card. Benita, handing card to Mama, in case. Mama reads and throws it on the floor, understanding and looking up as she draws a chair up to the table, and on which she has put her plant and some sticks and some cord. Like when Benita says in case, like he left his card for what? Mama, Father, give us strength, knowing and without fun. Did he threaten us? Benita, oh Mama, they don't do it like that anymore. He talked brotherhood. He said everybody ought to learn how to sit down and hate each other with good Christian fellowship. She and Walter shake hands to ridicule the remark. Mama, Sally, Lord, protect us. Ruth, you should hear the money those folks raised to buy the house from us. All we paid and then some. Oh, she's saying, I guess the association came up with money to make sure they don't move in. Benita, what they think we're going to do, eat them? Ruth, no, honey, marry them. Mama, shaking her head, Lord, Lord, Lord. That's kind of true, you know? It all has to do with that, you know? Ruth, well, that's the way the crackers crumble. A beat joke. A beat. A beat? I don't know what that means. Well, that's the way the crackers crumble. A beat joke. To live in a society today that's gonna be peaceful, I hold the N-word and a diss to like brown people and a diss to Asian people and a diss to white people, a diss to black people. I don't agree with those in this day and age. Just anybody who reads this, I don't agree with those words. So it's not like, oh, I'm glad they're saying cracker, you know? No, I'm not. I'm trying to survive in this day and age, you know? Ruth, well, that's the way the crackers crumble, a beat. So I think like she paused for a second and then she says, joke. So Benita, laughingly noticing what her mother is doing. Mama, what are you doing? Also, Ruth said that little funny joke. Mama, fixing my plant so it won't get hurt none on the way. Benita, Mama, you going to take that to the new house? Mama, uh-huh. Benita, that raggedy looking old thing? Mama, stopping and looking at her. Expresses me. Ruth, with delight to Benita. So there, Miss Thing. Walter comes to Mama suddenly and bends down behind her and squeezes her in his arms with all his strength. She is overwhelmed by the suddenness of it. And though delighted, her manner is like that of Ruth and Travis. I feel like they'll harm the man first just to fuck up the whole family, bro. So, I wonder if he's scared. Like, Mama, look out now, boy. You make me mess up my thing here. Walter, his face lit. He slips down on his knees beside her, his arms still about her. Mama, you know what it means to climb up in that chariot? Now, Mama, you know what it means to climb up in the chariot? Mama, gruffly, very happy. Get on away from me now. Get on away from me now. Ruth, near the gift wrap package, trying to catch Walter's eye. Psst, Walter. What the old song say, Mama? Ruth, Walter, now? She's pointing at the package. Walter, speaking the line sweetly, playfully in his mother's face. I got wings, you got wings. All God's children got wings. Mama, boy, get out of my face and do some work. Walter, when I get to heaven, gonna put on my wings, gonna fly all over God's heaven. Benita teasingly from across the room. Everybody talking about heaven ain't going there. Walter to Ruth, who is carrying the box across to them. So Ruth is bringing the box, or she's just passing them with the box. I don't know, you think we ought to give her that? Seems to me she ain't been very appreciative around here. Mama, eyeing the box, which is obviously a gift. What is that? Walter, taking it from Ruth and putting it on the table in front of Mama. Well, what do you all think? Should we give it to her? So they're still gonna move to that. They're still gonna move. Like, they got courage, you know? Ruth. Oh, she was pretty good today. So Ruth is like pitching in her. Mama, all good you. She turns her eyes to the box again, saying like, be quiet. Benita, open it, Mama. She stands up, looks at it, turns and looks at all of them, and then presses her hands together and does not open the package. Walter, sweetly, open it, Mama, it's for you. Mama looks in his eyes. It is the first present in her life without it being Christmas. Wow. Slowly she opens her package and lifts out, one by one, a brand new, sparkling set of gardening tools. Walter continues prodding. Ruth made up the note. Read it. Well, she wants to garden, so that's pretty cool, you know? Especially, I don't think she's going to work, you know? She'll just be gardening, taking care of the crib, you know? Mama, picking up the card and adjusting her glasses. To our own Mrs. Miniver. Love from brother, Ruth, and Benita. And she says, ain't that lovely? Travis, tugging at his father's sleeve. Daddy, can I give her mine now? Walter, all right, son. Travis flies to get his gift. Mama, now I don't have to use my knives and forks no more. So she'd be using those to garden? So she was looking forward to that. It's cool, you know? So we'll see what Travis got her. So Walter, Travis didn't want to go in with the rest of us, Mama. He got his own. Somewhat amused. We don't know what it is. Travis racing back in the room with a large hat box and putting it in front of his grandmother. Here, Grandma. Mama, Lord have mercy, boy. You done gone and bought your grandmother a hat? Travis, the little boy, very proud. Open it. She does and lifts out an elaborate, but very elaborate. She does and lifts out an elaborate. And he says, but very elaborate, wide gardening hat. And all the adults break up at the sight of it. That's actually dope, you know? So Ruth, Travis, honey, what is that? Travis, who thinks it is beautiful and appropriate. It's a gardening hat, like the ladies always have on in the magazines when they work in their gardens. So I guess they're not used to those big gardening hats. Benita, giggly, those like sun hats, you know, with the big old brim all the way around. Benita, giggling fiercely. Travis, we were going to make Mama Mrs. Miniver, not Scarlett O'Hara. Who's Mrs. Miniver anyway? I think that might be the neighbor. Mama, indignantly, what's the matter with you all? This here is a beautiful hat, absurdly. Always wanted me one just like it. She pops it on her head to prove it to be her grandson, and the hat is ludicrous and considerably oversized. Ruth, hot dog, go, Mama. Walter, doubled over with laughter. I'm sorry, Mama, but you look like you're ready to go out and chop you some cotton, sure enough. They all laugh except Mama, out of deference to Travis's feelings, out of deference. She doesn't want to hurt her grandson's feelings. Mama, gathering the boy up to her. Bless your heart, this is the prettiest hat I ever owned. Walter, Ruth, and Benita chime in noisily, festively, and insincerely congratulating Travis on his gift. What are we all standing around here for? We ain't finished packing yet. Benny, you ain't packing one book. The bell rings. So Benita, that couldn't be the movers. Okay, so Benita, that couldn't be the movers. It's not hardly too good yet. So I guess you hear somebody outside. Benita goes into her room. Mama starts for the door. Walter, turning, stiffening. Wait, I'll get it. He stands and looks at the door. Mama, you expecting company, son? If it's someone, or it might have been somebody else, right? So it might be somebody else since it's early. Walter, just looking at the door. Yeah. Mama looks at Ruth and they exchange innocent and unfrightened glances. Mama, not understanding. Well, let them in, son. Benita, from her room. We need some more string. So Benita needs string. Mama, Travis, you run to the hardware and get me some string cord. Mama goes out and Walter turns and looks at Ruth. Travis goes to a dish for money. All right, Ruth, why don't you answer the door, man? She's curious of who's here for her husband. So Walter's suddenly bounding across the floor to embrace her. Because sometimes it's hard to let the future begin. Stooping down in her face. What must be his business partner? I got wings, you got wings. All God's children got wings. He crosses to the door and throws it open. Standing there is a very slight little man in a not too prosperous business suit. And with haunted, frightened eyes and a hat pulled down tightly, brim up around his forehead. Travis passes between the man and exits. Walter leans deep in the man's face, still in his jubilance. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my wings, gonna fly all over God's heaven. The little man just stares at him. Heaven. Suddenly he stops and looks past the little man into the empty hallway. Where's Willie, man? Bobo, he ain't with me. Walter, not disturbed. Oh, come on in. You know my wife. You see, you give your child or your significant other some money to invest, and you look at the way the guy's dressing. If he's dressing really fancy, it's two things. He really ain't got no money. You want to know if that's his lifestyle every single day. Like, well, you don't have to have the most money, but you just want to know what that guy does for his business. You want to know, like, okay, why should I go into business with you? So the way they describe his friend, he looked kind of not so prosperous suit on. That's the words that they use. So, see, that's probably, you got to see, if you have a homie like that just starting out, you got to see the fire and desire to actually succeed. Like, if they're really 100% in on this, and like, that's been a dream. Like, as soon as they came up with some money, they were going to do something good with it. Like, it has to be a real thing from the root, you know? Unless it's, well, he hasn't told us who the guy is exactly. If he's an actual business partner, it could just be a friend, you know? Well, I mean, if it has to do with the money, then you would assume it had to be somebody that's in the business with them, you know? That's going into the business. And if they're going into the business, I mean, either they have a really good knowledge, or they know some people that can help them, or they're bringing money to the table. I don't know, I'm just trying to help you guys in business, I guess. Not only that, I don't know, just talking, I guess. But, so Bobo, dumbly taking off his hat. Yes, how you, Miss Ruth? Ruth, quietly, a mood apart from her husband already, seeing Bobo. So she's like not impressed or something. Hello, but they know each other, so she must know like his history on business or like his profession, you know? Hello, Bobo. Walter, you're right on time today, right on time. That's the way. He slaps Bobo on his back. Sit down, let me hear. Ruth stands stiffly and quietly in the back of them, as though somehow she senses death, her eyes fixed on her husband. Bobo, his frightened eyes on the floor, his hat in his hands. Could I please get a drink of water before I tell you about her, Walter Lee? Does it have to do with the money? What's up? Walter does not take his eyes off the man. Ruth goes blindly to the tap and gets a glass of water and brings it to Bobo. Walter, there ain't nothing wrong, is there? Bobo, let me tell you. Walter, man, didn't nothing go wrong? Bobo, let me tell you, Walter Lee. Looking at Ruth and talking to her more than to Walter. You know how it was. I gotta tell you how it was. I mean, first I go to tell you how it was all the way. I mean, about the money I put in, Walter Lee. Walter Lee, without agitation now. What about the money you put in? Bobo, wow, it wasn't much as we told you. Me and Willie, he stops. I'm sorry, Walter. I got a bad feeling about it. I got a real bad feeling about it. Walter, man, what are you telling me about all this for? Tell me what happened in Springfield. He gave another man some money who had a bright idea, who didn't have no money, to give money to someone else that told him, hey, you get some money, we'll make some money, but damn, that's a big mistake. Bobo, tell me what happened in Springfield. So that's what Walter says. See, I'm a bad memory, you just read a lot, right? Bobo, Springfield. So he says Springfield. Ruth, like a dead woman. What was supposed to happen in Springfield? Bobo, to her. This deal that me and Walter went into with Willie. Me and Willie was going to go down to Springfield and spread some money around so we wouldn't have to wait so long for the liquor license. That's what we were going to do. Everybody said that was the way you had to do. You understand, Miss Ruth? Walter, man, what happened down there? Bobo, a pitiful man. Bobo, a pitiful man, near tears. I'm trying to tell you, Walter. Walter, screaming at him suddenly. Then tell me, God damn it, what's the matter with you? Bobo, man, I didn't go to no Springfield yesterday. Walter, halted, life hanging in the moment. Why not? Bobo, the long way, the hard way to tell. Because I didn't have no reason to. Walter, man, what are you talking about? Bobo, I'm talking about the fact that when I got to the train station yesterday morning, 8 o'clock, like we planned, man, Willie didn't ever show up. So how did Willie get the money? Walter, why? Where was he? Where is he? Bobo, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know. I waited 6 hours. I called his house and I waited 6 hours. I waited in that train station 6 hours, breaking into tears. That was all the extra money I had in the world. Looking up at Walter with tears running down his face. Man, Willie is gone. I'm a bad actor. I'm not in that mind frame. So I guess Willie is gone. Walter, gone? What you mean Willie is gone? Gone where? What do you mean he went by himself? You mean he went off to Springfield by himself to take care of getting the license? Turns and looks anxiously at Ruth. You mean maybe he didn't want too many people went on the business down there? Looks to Ruth again as before. You know Willie got his own ways. Looks back to Bobo. Maybe you was late yesterday and he just went on down there without you. Maybe. I mean, maybe he's been calling you at home trying to tell you what happened or something. Maybe he just got sick. He's somewhere. He's got to be somewhere. We just got to find him. Me and you got to find him. Grabs Bobo senselessly by the collar and starts to shake him. We got to. Bobo, in sudden angry, frightened agony. What's the matter with you, Walter? When a cat take off with your money, he don't leave you no road maps. When a cat take off with your money, he don't leave you no road maps. So they don't really know Willie? Walter, turning madly as though he is looking for Willie in the very room. Willie! Willie! Don't do it. Please don't do it. Man. Not with that money, man. Please. Not with that money. Oh, God. Don't let it be true. He's wandering around crying out for Willie and looking for him, or perhaps for help from God. Man, I trusted you. Man, I put my life in your hands. He starts to crumble down on the floor as Ruth just covers her face in horror. Mama opens the door and comes into the room with Benita behind her. Man, he starts to pound to the floor with his fist, sobbing wildly. That money is made out of my father's flesh. Oh, he just going crazy. That money's made out of my father's flesh. That's what he says. That's the trip. Man, it's fucked up. Bobo standing over him helplessly. I'm sorry, Walter. Only Walter sobs reply. Bobo puts on his hat. I had my life staked on this deal, too. He exits. Mama to Walter. Son, she goes to him, bends down to him, talks to his bent head. Son, is it gone, son? I gave you $6,500. Is it gone? All of it. Benita's money, too. I think that was for his school. $3,000, I told you. Walter lifting his head slowly. Mama, I never went to the bank at all. Mama, not wanting to believe him. You mean your sister's school money? You used that too, Walter. Walter, yes, all of it. It's all gone. What a fucking idiot. There's total silence. Ruth stands with her face covered with her hands. Benita leans forlornly against the wall, fingering a piece of red ribbon from the mother's gift. Mama stops and looks at her son without recognition, and then quite without thinking about it, starts to beat him senselessly in the face. Benita goes to them and stops it. I mean, would you really beat you? I think you would be that mad, huh? Probably. Benita, Mama. Mama stops and looks at both of her children and rises slowly and wanders vaguely, aimlessly away from them. She starts beating his face. That's crazy. Mama. I wonder how they acted that shit in the movie. Walter, or Mama, I seen him night after night come in and look at that rug and look at me, the red showing in his eyes, the veins moving in his head. I seen him grow thin and old before he was 40, working and working and working like somebody's old horse, killing himself. And you give it all away in a day. She raises her arms to strike him again. Benita, Mama, Mama, oh God. She looks up to him. Look down here and show me the strength. Or she just looks up and says, I thought she was talking to her son, like, man the fuck up, but she's actually talking to God. She says, oh God, look down here and show me the strength. Benita, Mama, Mama, folding over, strength. Benita plaintively, Mama, Mama, strength. And then curtain closes. So I don't know if she's old, so she might be fucking stressed out. She might be like hurting in her chest, like so stressed out, you know? Damn, that was fucking Willie, that's crazy, man. He hustled him, man. That's crazy. So anyway, that was Act 2. Scene 2, Act 2. Peace.